2 out of 3 guests visiting a church for the first time look at the church's website or social media first. And half of them decided not to attend a church because of what they found or didn't find on the church website. In this video, I'm going to share the 5 types of information that your church guests are looking for. Hi, Larry Witzel here with another ministry insight from Sermon View. We've got more great videos coming up on Christmas season outreach, social media video, ministry entrepreneurship, and a lot more. So make sure you subscribe to get alerted when we drop a new episode. Last year, as part of my PhD studies, I researched how first-time guests use church websites and social media to find out more about the church before they visit. We surveyed 546 adults using SurveyMonkey Audience, which is a diverse panel of online respondents recruited from a cross-section of the United States. Of those who responded, 303, or 55%, said that they attended a church's worship service for the first time sometime in the previous 5 years. And of those, 59% said that they visited the church's website before attending, while 47% said that they looked at the church's social media first. Most of them did both, and in aggregate, 66% of first-time visitors looked at either the church website or social media before they attended a worship service for the first time. Then we asked, what information were you looking for on a church website before you attended that worship service? And after a rigorous qualitative content analysis, I identified 5 categories of information that guests are looking for. The first category is spatial temporal information, where the guest is looking for the place or the time of the church's worship service or other events. This category also includes inquiries about the length of the worship service and whether there was more than one service. 47% of guests looked for this type of information, and that kind of makes sense, right? These are the basic where and when questions that a lot of guests are going to have. Now, the next 2 categories surprised me. One is culture, including the worship style, such as the type of music and version of the Bible used, the size of the church, the mission and values of the church, the identity of the pastor and other church leaders. Some respondents specifically stated that they wanted to see pictures of people and the front stage of the church. Now, what was surprising was at 46%, almost as many guests are looking for this type of culture information as the basic when and where questions. The other surprise to me was the third category, doctrine. Now, I wasn't surprised that people were looking for this, which includes beliefs and denominational affiliation. The surprise was how few people looked for this, just 31%, or less than 1 in 3. A lot of church leaders I've seen fixate on church doctrine, but your guests are 50% more likely to wonder about the church culture than the church's doctrines. The fourth is labeled activities. This includes information about children's programs, Bible studies, and other activities outside the weekly worship service. 21% of guests were looking for this type of information. And finally, we have a general catch-all category, other, which included information hardly anyone cared about, like financial information about the church and online reviews for the church. Just 6.5% of guests looked for this type of more unusual information. But the vast majority of guests, 92%, were looking for information in those first 3 categories: when and where, church culture, and church doctrine. So, what does this mean for your church? It's crucial that you have this information clearly accessible on your website. When we build a church website here at Sermon View, we include the location and regular meeting times on the homepage as well as in the footer. So no matter what page you're on, this information is always accessible. You should also put lots of pictures so people can see your culture, the worship style, how people dress, that type of thing. Also display your mission or tagline prominently and include pictures of your key leaders and staff. Finally, you want details about your denominational affiliation or fundamental beliefs easily accessible. Over half the people who looked at the church website or social media before visiting said that they decided not to visit a church because of the information they found or information they didn't find on the website. 55% of them went to a website, saw something, or couldn't find what they wanted, and decided to go to a different church as a result. So, does your church website matter? Absolutely. In 2024, you've got to get this right. Make sure you answer the when and where questions, showcase your church culture, and clearly state your denominational affiliation and core beliefs. And if you do that, you're well on your way to having an effective welcome mat for guests in your community. If you're a pastor or a church leader, I just want to say thank you for the work that you do. It's amazing how critical some church members can be, especially the ones who are happy to tell you what to do, but they aren't willing to lift a finger to help. Well, stay strong. Listen to the affirmation of those who believe in you. You're there because God wants to do something with your gifts, talents, and experiences, and because He's preparing you for what's next. So, be of good courage. God is doing something really profound both in you and through you. I love you guys. I'm cheering for you. I'll see you next time.